connected with. Whoop, Seb had almost next level miracle there, getting blinding light and then hopefully into the hook stop, but that won't happen. Soulbine's on the Ember Spirit, now the Omni Flash will connect.
Brought up earlier is what does Nigma do when OG just disengaged their combo, right? I think in this game you can't. About this is what T-Governor brought up earlier is what does Nigma do when OG just disengaged their combo, right? I think in this game you can't sacrifice mind control. I don't think it's going to work. He needs to have a good game on Axe so that he can initiate and start fights on your terms, because it's literally the only catch you have. You could consider Soulbind a little bit of a catch to an extent with the slow. You just stampede and run away, and they have swap, they have mobile heroes in Ember and Mirana. It's not easy. Like, I'm worried that Nigma kind of fall in the same trap as last game, where they need to use their big ultis to fight, they don't get big kills, and then OG just run at them constantly. And yeah, this time they have the coddle, but the main difference for me is he's playing with Ember, who becomes, you know, a zero downtime hero with coddle. He's going at people non-stop, so the tempo again in their favor.
We should also flag that just for everyone at home who've only just jumped in, because the analysts have no idea about this. Sumail is playing the Ember up on top lane, and mid one's playing the Vengeful Spirit mid.
Classic mid-venge.
Yes, it's all great things get played. That's a lot of high movement speed and extra slow. Sumail looking for the extra distance to get back home safely. He'll lose a lot of life and have to probably burn. You know, he just burns the salve straight up.
This lane is really strong. That's a good thing for Nigma in the start of this game. Axe Phoenix into Ember is really good. You have so much damage over time. If Ember can't find the CS, he keeps taking damage from the battle hunger, and it's hard to find CS when you're fire spirited. So.
OG is just full contesting for bounty runes. Arrow's gonna fly forward. Actually connects on GH. Sumail combining with the Illuminate Blast from Nota. They have the damage. Sumail will spill first blood after being the one dropped to 100 HP. He ends up getting the first blood. And they did all that for the bounty runes.
Oh, it's the perfect hero for them to get it on. Just when we say this is going to be a difficult lane for him, he gets the free... What's that, 6, 7 CS? Probably 7 CS nowadays, actually. He just got in his bank account. So he's going to send out some regen. Or actually just a Wraith Band for now, huh? That doesn't have too much to give in terms of HP, but I guess No-Tail will take care of him. Sending out extra Stal. He has 4 tangos. Push the lane here.
How much burn damage can you get into a
When
Phoenix?
you do this in a pro game, people say well played, and when you do it in a pub game, they're like, stop taking my farm fucking coddle. What are you doing? You know?
You're pushing my lane. Things are not in equilibrium.
You know, the classic, understand the difference. These players do it for a reason. This is not the default play you do every game.
Well, what's the reason though, man? What's the reason here?
So you're playing against a Phoenix Axe who can pressure you really hard, right? So the way you play around pressure is you force them back into their tower. If you push the wave like this, No-Tail gets access to pulling, and that way you can try to maximize on fire. Yeah, you might die anyway. It's good.
Yeah.
They're really strong. But it's the right thing that OG are doing. They could have done it without Sumail dying, but I think pushing this lane is really good, even if Ember loses a bit of CS on it. You have to pressure them so they can't pressure you, and then you can go and pull. Wonder if No-Tail will pull it now. Looks like it is a possibility. But for now, just looking to bully as much as possible with their level 2 ramp up. But now, Nigma are also level 2. No, they're gonna go for it though. Good damage.
Yeah, really heavily on mind control. But GH still has the spirits. It's hard to get close enough to get enough damage to finish the job.
Yeah.
I also want to keep tabs on mid lane. I'm seeing Mirana looking for a perfect arrow line against Weeha. And okay,
yeah. It was a perfect line. I will agree with that. It flew.
You can't, this isn't wanted. There's no Angelina Jolie to make arrows bend.
Oh man, imagine if you could bend arrows. Do you remember with like Pudge Hook when you could like curve it a little bit or whatever that was?
No, wait, what, really? I don't remember that.
I mean, you didn't have a button for it, but I think it was either it was a bug or it was never there, or it was just like perceived that based on high ground terrain in Dota 1 that some cliffs, when you threw it, it would like bend a little bit because of the height difference of the terrain or something.
See, I remember Pudge was where you can get the hooks to bounce off walls. Now that was cool.
That would also be a thing. Well, maybe one of the 15 buffs that Pudge needs right now. That wouldn't be bad.
That would be so cool, just bouncing off walls, kind of like Mars Spears connects, Pudge hooks bounce at the same angle it comes in. I'd love to see that again. Obviously, it was never in competitive Dota that way.
Imagine if you got a hotkey on Mirana where you could like turn your arrow a little bit, could like bend it in mid-air.
Now she's an airbender. All right.
Wouldn't that be something?
Mirana was always the avatar. Let's keep going on top lane. I actually want to keep my eyes on some of the other lanes, but it just feels like top lane is just a never-ending fight, which is kind of crazy considering Axe is just refusing to go call. Level 3, got 2 points in counter helix, 1 point in battle hunger.
I wonder if he goes 2 in hunger on 4 or not. That's generally where the builds separate. Most Axes will go this build, almost every game. 0-1-2 is the standard. It gives a little bit of harass and the slow from battle hunger and the
Cluckles, stay safe.
Cluckles is fine.
Cluckles is not fine. There's an observer watching him and a Mirana.
Cluckles is not fine at all.
But yeah, we've got chicken.
Cluckles, what are you doing? Chicken dinner for Saksa? Very nice.
Game question mark, Sumail. Yeah, that was pretty confident. And again, the salve doesn't get cancelled, so
yeah, Flame Guard
he's fine. Yep.
Surprised Nigma GH didn't get an attack off there on the on the dive. He must have attacked another creep by a mistake because he definitely wants to hit Sumail there. Not just...
That's a nice arrow in mid. Full 5 seconds. Mid 1 has no other stun, and all that niceness actually means Jack. Yeah, nothing comes.
They're really pressuring. This start is way better for Nigma than last game. Their lanes are going super well overall. Miracle has awesome farm, and he's on a higher impact hero this game. He just has a better game already than last game. Like the entirety of last game is worse than his first 5 minutes of this one. I think Jugger is a little bit of a wild card. Like maybe I've ridden them off a little too much on their inability to chase down once they have cooldowns, because Omnislash can obviously stay on top of them even during Stampede. So a farm Juggernaut can get the job done in this game. And with this kind of a start on both mid and all 3 lanes, really, they've won all 3 lanes so far. Nigma this time around. Very nice.
It does feel that way. So a lot of farm coming into Seb for the fact that he's been able to keep creep cutting. Yep.
Definitely holding his own. But yeah, Juggers, whenever the offlaner creep skips the safe lane carry.
Mid 1. That's cool. I like that. The arrow flies in. Mid 1 swaps we into the stun underneath the tier 1 tower to actually claim the kill. That's got some style to it.
With 200 ping.
You could see mid 1 just standing there like, I'm not moving. I'm literally standing on one position for a very specific reason.
It might be a little bit of a giveaway when you think about it. Like,
yeah, but it's not something you think about.
Pressure on Sumail once again. The Flame Guard will fade, I think, from Fire Spirits currently.
I think OG want to fight though. Mirana's rotating up. Yeah. And then again, the same thing can be said about mid 1. He's just grabbed a DD from the top river. So yeah, they really want to have a fight. Icarus dives up from GH. He's the man on the front lines. Mind control is the one they'd like to get. And GH, perfect stun control.
Ooh, can they
all the damage they need. Can't get range.
Hard on Venge. 200
no,
damage.
Cluckles!
Cluckles, no. That was phase boots. Oh my.
That's more than Cluckles.
Seb could... I mean, he's probably not going to face him in lane because of this right now, but that's when you think about the effective net worth of the heroes right now, Seb is doubling him up. His Jugger is missing 1,400 gold right now out of his 3.2k, or 1,500, sorry, Phase got nerfed as well.
Now they're trying flash farm up, Axe. Let's see how much you can contest. He's got call available. If he can actually pull Sumail back in, it would be huge, but there's a lot of damage coming in from mid 1. The arrow connects once again. OG tipping mind controls like, yeah, did you want any of that? Cool.
He got some experience. I don't know if he got any of the CS. I didn't notice the color of the gold coming up, but I mean, you gotta do that, right? Like, don't tell me you wouldn't have done that if you were Axe. You have to try and go and contest some of that. And then, I mean, he got 4-man rotated on, right? And that's, it's not even that bad.
UTP towards the top. Kuro's trying to wait this out. There is a dire observer ward sitting behind the tower, and Kuro is almost about to walk through that. So many couriers flying out as well. And no one's gonna die from the OG side. There's no one from Nigma. was able to pressure hard enough. And instead it's the Vengeful Spirit and the Mirana once again who are rotating towards the top lane. There's 4 heroes on the top. They're going nowhere near Weeha. And they're also not pressuring Miracle at all. I know you're right about like Seb getting a hell of a lot more farm. Oh no. Well, yeah, for having a base courier.
His cousin. Donkles.
Donkle? So, okay.
Why does GH have the default courier?
Budget.
Maybe it's just... Maybe it's a remnant of the time when you had to buy the courier, and GH has never done it in his life. Always cool.
Maybe you gotta win 2 TIs before you can have upgraded couriers.
Oh, well, why do his teammates have them then?
In that case, he lives by his own rules.
They missed the memo.
Yeah, definitely. It just happened in the transfer from Liquid to Nigma. Trying to go again up on top. Mind control, gonna get the call out. They got extra hold on Sumail. The arrow will fly forward, not hitting its target. The 4 heroes from OG arriving on top lane. Hey, mind control. They want you. They choose you. But everyone else gets back out. Both the supports out to safety. This is such a heavy commitment every time from OG. Sumail's actually gone all the way back to base, but don't worry, he'll remnant all the way back out once again.
Yeah, now he's level 6. This lane shifts so much. Axe can't reliably catch him. He has way more spell burst. Axe's only magic resist right now is a bracer and a raindrop. Doesn't have anything like a good build up.
Ember Spirit, long jump forward. Kuro able to get the silence off. GH is trying to keep Sumail back, throws out the extra sprite, and you're seeing TPs arrive. Arrow flies forward. Kuro will dodge it. GH giving the extra life back over, but now he wants to try and turn that into damage. Sumail, the primary target, clipped on the edge of the Sunray. No-Tail TP out. Weeha will get the Reaper Scythe out, cancelling the TP of the Keeper of the Light. As Nigma say, like, okay, I guess we will play this game. Miracle, you can get both the bounty runes on bottom lane in the meantime, while Kuro dies to this stun combination. Swap from mid one, trying to get in range of GH. Won't get there.
I hope there's a bounty rune still. No.
Oh, there's a regen rune for Sumail. That'll work.
Yeah, so they get the Caudal kill, but they used the Reaper to get it, and they didn't get the Reaper bonus because we thought he had to Reaper to stop the TP, but Mind Control actually did have the call in time. So a little bit of a missed efficiency there, but not that big of a deal. The main thing is that Reaper is used for a 5.
Blink tag is up. Step jumps in. He found Weeha with the hook stomp. He took the Ghost Shroud as well as the 6-1 charges, giving Weeha a lot of his life back. Not to mention GH, always there to be the mash unit. A quick little leash together. The follow-up slow, but there's nothing that combos with this.
Leash for what?
Oh, now Miracle has finally joined the fight. Running forward. He's like, well, okay, stun me. Come at me, bro.
He will show up to defend his mid tower, but didn't have any interest in getting involved in the top shenanigans so far. Wonder if he could have. Like, before Sumail was level 6, I think Miracle had the potential of making an aggressive move top that killed Sumail and got the tower. But as soon as the remnants are up, Jugger doesn't really pose much of a threat to him anymore. So maybe a missed opportunity there, as they're trying to maximize, but...
The Miracle's back to farming. He's finished Mask of Madness, going for the Maelstrom. I actually remember, I think it was a Fnatic game I was watching where the Juggernaut actually went for the Mask of Madness into an Aghanim Scepter and actually used the... what's it called? The Swift Slash, I think it's called.
Yeah.
As like just farming pattern increase. It was quite effective.
That makes sense. Doesn't mean it's good though. But it might be good. I haven't been seeing or playing much Jugger as of late. It's not that popular of a hero. It does get played sometimes, but yeah. The Axe might have been initially a bit underrated by a lot of players. I remember when we had that mega patch with 15 or 20 new Ags, and everybody thought the IO Ags, I don't know how good it is. Like, it's probably okay. You get to TI and it just stomps. Nobody had expected it to be that good. So a lot of the time, it's kind of like, that's what's fascinating about Dota. You know, you read it, but you need to feel it. Like, you have this perception that, okay, it might be good, it might not, it's like probably all right. And then some things that seem all right are insane, and some things are like, holy fuck, it's so broken. And then it's like, it turned out it wasn't that bad.
I think we might be dead. Post on forward, they're gonna use
he's dead.
Arrow, the Will-O-Wisp, and everything else you've got. And the TP comes in, Miracle. He'll get the spin off in time before the magic missile from mid one's able to connect, but now Stampede forward. One charge available. He needs to actually get it off to have enough life to even have a chance to Omni Slash.
He really wanted that Willow Wisp. I mean, he's fighting to bench. He knows he can get swapped. Sumail.
Yeah, he's just gonna walk it off.
Haste rune.
And he does. GH gets picked up in the meantime. Seb just jumps forward. Trick gets up the hood of Defiance. Got all the sustain in the world. And they fired another target. Axe gonna call, but he's underneath the tier 1 tower, and Seb just trying to get in range for a hoof stomp. They have the Tinker Ward on the hillside, so they see everything, and Weeha will arrive. But hey, stun number 1, arrow number 2. And the stall bind on Sumail and Seb, they just walk it off once again. There's just, again, no combination that works with this.
As soon as they ramp up the tempo like this, it just feels too easy right now. There needs to be something coming out from Nigma that allows them to take initiative, and I'm still looking at this Axe, just struggling. He doesn't have it.
At least we got the Ghost Shroud off, but now the Illuminator connects. And once again, deny the ability to even trigger the Magic Wand charges.
It's kind of like last game. It really is very similar. The lane stage went a bit better for Nigma, but now they're in trouble. We gotta find a way to make something happen here.
Well, Mind Control. Gonna battle in the trees once again.
And dead.
There's so many setups for Sucks just to connect on this arrow every single time. So if the first connects, you're stunned until you're dead.
It seems like OG identified before this game even began what they needed to do, like what the threat is. The threat is Axe. We're gonna shut this guy down so he has no game, and then we're gonna run all around the map, just killing them nonstop. Like, you think about how many resources they've committed to just ruining Mind Control's game. They've quad ganked him 3 or 4 times now. They put very early 3-man ganks as well with the Mirana. Like, they have just completely ruined him, and they can do it because Seth can just skip in this game.
Under the Observer, under the Sentry, they get the hook stomp over on Weeha with the Will-O-Wisp down, another arrow control. Need to kill Necro before he can get the Ghost Shroud heal off. The silence will be there, and they actually find the kill. So hey, we're back over to Mind Control. Let's continue exactly where they started. A swap up, Kuro now trapped in the middle of the team. He's able to get the Soul Bind, Blinding Light pushing him back. Another arrow! Sucks. He's actually able to connect on the target without any kind of setup this time around, so Miracle can't get involved. And even if he does, I still don't know what presence he's going to have. All that net worth, and what's the effect of it? You've now got a Javelin coming out in the courier, I believe. Actually, no, he's got the Mithril Hammer now. I'll buy the Javelin next.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
They found a target.
Yeah,
There's no Blink Dagger.
Get it,
How do you actually close the distance on this? Now mid one, Battle Hunger out. TP's coming in from Sumail. TP's, oh, okay, everyone's coming. OG, they got the call, but there's 5 heroes ready to try and fight, but Kuro already threw out the Phantom's Embrace, so no double silence available. Blinding Light pushing away, so Seb couldn't get the hook stop initiation he was searching for. Miracle just wants to finish up Thorntail over in the tree lines. The Phoenix Egg, that was well far back, but heavy commitment. Okay. We have a 5v5 on the tier 1 tower on bottom. Seb wants to beat the tank at the front lines. He's burning underneath the sun ray. GH has much more to give, and now maybe with the Omnislash, Heavy got some extra damage. He doesn't have the mana for it. Now he does. Miracle, the Omnislash will now come out. Seb is brought down, held in place just long enough by the Reaper's sight, but the bigger hero they want Sumail. They want to finish the job, and the arrow! Saxa connects in the back line. He'll work with mid one, and Miracle can't keep the chase going. And Sumail just walks it off. Nigma's just like a bad stitch to OG.
Yeah, they really needed this fight to go well after OG screwed up the initiation, like you pointed out, with the Caudal and Centaur kind of counterplaying each other. But even with that, OG still came out on top in the end here. See if they can get any extra kills.
And they're trying to kill off GH Weeha by putting it on him mid-1. Trapped for the moment, but now the Will-O-Wisp. Everyone comes back. Weasel on life. The perfect sleight of fist searing chains from Sumail. He's been battling for the last minute and a half on probably 1/5 of his HP. But he doesn't care. Mind Control's got the dunk, and they're all playing around him on low life. He'll get the call and tried to go for the dunk, but there was never going to be joy there. Too much life for the Ember Spirit holding 1 charges.
Seems like OG really learned something from the series yesterday. They are playing super fast, super aggressive, and it's just working, both games. Seems like a very similar recipe, similar draft identity or logic. And if there's a team in the world that gets rolling when it gets rolling, it's this team. It doesn't matter what the stakes are. Biggest stage of TI. There's a very memorable game for me from last TI where they had Monkey King Ember cores on tops, and they just ran over the enemy team. And that was actually against Kuro as well. Liquid at the time. His exact team.
Smoke up. No way to cut the distance. Observer and Sentry still doing its work. Kuro even plants the Observer and Sentry. It's like, okay, yeah, this is why they could see us this entire time.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
It doesn't stop Seb from staying on the high ground, looking for a some target. He wants Weeha. The Observer ward that's been planted is out of range of the Radiant Sentry.
Oh, they saw that.
Smoke will happen, but mind control very close. And now Arrow, stun combination from 100 to 0. He'll end up dropping down, but where's your follow-up? You go for your Inkswell, Miracle, near absolutely no one. Now the stuns, OG, they realize they don't exist. In fact, they just go for their own. A side of fist searing chains, both being connected with, whoop, Seb. Had almost next level Miracle there, getting blinding light, and then hopefully into the hot stop, but that won't happen. Soulbine's on the Ember Spirit. Now the Omni Flash will connect out. They find the kill under Sumail underneath the egg. OG does not play us up. They'll take care of that. Especially considering it's only a level 1 egg. We have no life to really be given, because with that Spirit Vessel on him, nothing can be granted. Another wave of terror. So much negative armor. And the swap back Miracle can't spin away to safety. Phase Boots can't get away fast enough either. Axe trying to get this call into the double Inkswell, but there's no follow-up. All he's got is Kuro with him, and Kuro doesn't really give that much damage, especially when he's got no mana and everything on cooldown. This game really feels like it's an OG punch fest once again.
The tricky part now is it's very obvious, and it's incredibly apparent in this game, right, that Axe can't find openings, and he needs to do it for his team, but he is currently a Blink Dagger away from having Blink Dagger. Minute 20. He has 50 gold, 2 Phase Boots, and 2... Or, well, not 2 Phase Boots. Wouldn't that be something? Phase Boots, 2 Bracers, nothing. So in this patch and in this meta right now, as Nigma, I don't really know what choices you have, except try to fight them, hope you do it better. You're not gonna find 2k gold on X without losing the whole map. Like, he can't just be like, okay guys, I need to farm, just chill. Anywhere you go to farm, the enemy will have aggressive vision because they've dominated you for 10 minutes, and you're gonna get killed. So your only reliable way of getting gold is actually trying to find a fight that favors you. But it's just so hard. The enemy team has saves, escape, strong team fight, strong catch, and mind control might just be dead again.
Yep, they're going after it. Now, maybe you do get a double silence. Mind control will die to get the initiation off. Miracle's trying to get there in time to get, well, he's got an Omni Slash. They're running in for this fight, but I don't know exactly what fight they're thinking they're going to get. GH gets pushed away once again by the blinding light. Seb able to keep the chain stun going and finishes him with a double edge. While in mid lane, Weehard just isolated by Sumail in mid one to find their own kills. Another side of fist searing chains, and you know Sumail is really thinking about committing pretty heavily in with that spirit.
They're getting trashed now. It's they're cornered. The only lane that Nigma really have any control over right now is bottom, but none of their heroes have gone there for an eternity, it seems, because they don't feel happy just having that little corner of the map as theirs. They need to try to get more space, but OG are not letting up ever in this game. After they got control of the Radiant left side, they haven't lost it again for 10 consecutive minutes. They've just been parked there, fighting them non-stop and not letting up. That's how you do it. That's map dominance 101 right there. Take control of an area. If you're stronger, you never give it back.
This is how your 5th position of OG can have more net worth than the 3 position of Nigma. It's brutal. And they're coming up for their own fight. One little golem looking to chase after Mirana. One more leap, down she goes, and the BTs are up from Seb. He jumps on the back of the warrior, the Hellbear Smasher. And with a Will-O-Wisp, they're all caught out once again. Axe being pushed back inside the Will-O-Wisp with side of fist searing chains and a double damage room from Sumail. All the damage in the world from Miracle. Can't even kill off mid one. And that may be the game. You lose 4. Yes, VS to get killed off by the Reaper's Scythe. I know there's still tier 2 towers up, but these fights aren't going to change anytime soon.
Radiant's middle
Interesting to see the Venge Axe build, by the way, from mid one. It's a very unusual build, but
is it also just because it's a stompy kind of build?
possible. I don't know if he would have bought this if it was a closer game, but it's really cool to have that swap into fear, right? It's, in the meta right now, I think it's better than it used to
Looking
be.
for the stuns and the spirits. That's not exactly what they were hoping for, probably. Buys a little bit of extra time. Now Necro arriving, stampede from OG, being used to not move back, in fact being used to get more aggressive underneath the melee racks. Say goodbye to Weeha. Axe is doing the best he can. Microphone can only run in and call. There's nothing more he can do. There's still no OmniTize. He's trying to buy time for Miracle to get that final point of damage into Woodstep, but it won't happen. They're all 5 dead. GG is called. An OG keeping 35 kills in about 24 minutes. Classic Goji.
That series was more one-sided than I thought it would be. Considering how much OG has struggled, they made it look so easy today. Both games. I think just one step ahead of Nigma every step of the way, maybe except the first few, like 3 minutes this game where Nigma got something going in the lanes. They just lost from start to finish on movements, on team.
One more leap, down she goes, and the BTs are up from Seth. He jumps on the back of the warrior, the Hellbear Smasher. But the Will-O-Wisp, they're all caught out once again. Axe being pushed back inside the Will-O-Wisp with side of fifth here in case, and a double damage rim from Sumail. All the damage in the world from Miracle, can't even kill off mid one. And that may be the game. You lose 4, yes, VS to get killed off by the Reaper's Sight. I know there's still tier 2 towers up, but these fights aren't going to change anytime soon.